how to update your drivers on this hour of Call for Help.
I hope these people can help me with my computer. A technician will be with you in 4 hours.
4 hours?
You can upgrade for just $5,000.
What?
The Universal Serial Config Board should be set to ID 6.
I need that in plain English. Help!
Leo Laporte at Call for Help. May I help you?
I'm sorry, I can't help you now. I'll be with you in 4 hours. No, I'm here now. Welcome. Call for Help is on the air. Everybody gather together, gather around. It's the time when we get together and help you with your personal technology. That's what we do every day at this time, and I'm so glad you're here to watch the show. Joining me, my Call for Helperettes. You know, Ike and Tina have the Ikeettes. I have the Helperettes. Oh, no. It's Andy and Monica. Monica Latanwa, Andy Walker. And say hello to them, because I tell you that they make this show so much more fun for me to do.
Whee!
It's nice to have you guys here.
Hey, I was on Leoville boards this morning.
Yeah, my message boards. They love you already.
It's fantastic. You have great fans.
They barely know you and they love you.
Oh, I just love it.
We're all related to
Are you going to? Yeah, right. There's my mom, my brother, my sister, my uncle. Do you, have you gone on there yet?
Yes, I have.
Have you? Good.
I should.
Account?
I'll say hi.
Create
I'll say
account?
hi.
Yeah. And register you. That's a fun place to go. We have our own message boards here on Call for Help, callforhelptv.com. And, of course, we're on there as well. And that's a good place if you want to pose a question, meet other Call for Help viewers. Mm-hmm. But if you want to get on the show, of course, you got to go to callforhelptv.com and fill out that form. There's a form that we need some things like when you're available, because we have to be able to call you and get you on the show. And, you know, your operating system, just some information that we need to help you answer your show.
Is there a snacks field?
Snacks. What is this with you and snacks?
I had this thing about snacks.
What is it? What kind of snacks?
Just salty snacks and, low-carb snacks.
We've got crackers.
There's this thing going around. Is it Mikey that started this?
Yeah.
Or is it Simon?
Oh, both of them,
Apparently,
actually.
no one has ever in the world been able to eat more than 8 saltines in less than a minute. Is that right? That's correct. Mikey has brought a bag of saltines. Are you going to do this for us, Mikey? No. I'm not going to do it.
I'll do it.
Later. We'll do it later.
No, let's
do it
say
last segment.
this is something to look forward to, or not. That does not make any sense. Why, without any water? No water. Why couldn't you eat 8 saltines in a minute without water?
I guess we'll find out later.
I'm going to do 9.
You can do 9.
Yeah, that's just one of the many things to look forward to.
It says it on the Guinness Book of World Records. Leo Laporte, most
9.
saltines, 9 no water.
How could you not? You mean 9 of those little
Within
squares?
a minute.
How could you not eat those in a minute?
Within a minute.
I have a very moist mouth. I can do it.
No, too much information.
Way overshare. On today's,
Excuse me, Leo.
Yes, Vac.
I can eat. Those no problem, man.
All right. Maybe we'll have Vac. Vac shaved his head for the show. Maybe he can down. I know. It seems easy, doesn't it, Vac?
Easy.
Easy. Anybody.
Everyone's watching, too. It's like, I can do that.
I can do that. Well, we'll try. On today's show, we're going to show you how to update Windows drivers.
Yeah.
And what that weird message means.
Yeah, what that weird message says, Windows logo non-compatible.
What the hell is that? Yeah. Marcel Gagne is here. We've actually had him on Call for Help in the Screensavers before in the States, but he's from Toronto, for crying out loud.
Right?
He's a Linux expert, so we're going to talk about using the Linux. What is Linux? The Linux operating system, a free operating system, using it, why you might want to take a look at it. And you are going to talk about web tracking toolbars.
We'll talk about the Alexa toolbar.
Oh, Alexa, yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorites, especially for webmasters.
Yeah. Do you have a good free file? That's the free file?
That's the free file.
And you have a Monica's pick today?
Yes, I do.
We're going to call you Monica's monkey. Monkey's pick. Monica. Monsters.
Monkey's key picks.
There you go. Monkey.
Mon's key picks.
Mon.
Monkeys.
Let's just get a call.
Okay. We actually have a...
Even if it's me calling, man, don't answer because I think the phone is bugged, man.
Oh, no, man. Who is on the line?
I think we have Jim from Sanford, Florida.
Hello, Jim. Pay no attention to those wackos. What can we do for you today?
Well, I'm just trying to find out would be the quickest and safest way to delete duplicate files.
Are you worried that you don't have enough room on your hard drive, or you just think you have a lot of duplicates, or what's the deal?
Oh, I do. Because I have a big family here, and they download a lot of stuff, and use the computer a lot.
Well, now, the issue on duplicates, of course, is you really want to make sure they're duplicates. Merely having the same file name does not make it a duplicate. Merely having the same file name and file size does not make it a duplicate. What you'd really want is a program that would analyze the contents and say, if it's exactly bit for bit the same, And then, even then, you might not want to delete it, and I'll explain why that might be something that's still an issue in a second. But let me show you a great program, okay?
Yes.
This is a program called Duplicate File Finder. Duplicate File Finder. And what this is, a free file of the day, and what it does is kind of cool, is it does an analysis of the file. I'm going to move these over here, that tell you whether it's duplicates based on the CRC and checksum. Now, what CRC and checksum are is ways of actually looking at the contents and validating whether the contents is the same. So you see here it says we have, in fact, 2 copies of exactly the same file. The CRC is the same. Here, 2 copies of exactly the same file because the CRC is the same. So we know these are duplicates. Now notice a lot of these are in the trash. So you might want to empty the trash before you use this program. But when you have some duplicates like this, you can then delete the duplicates with one exception. Remember I said there was going to be an exception. That's DLLs, Dynamic Linked Libraries. And these are libraries that programs use of common routines. Now sometimes you will have duplicates of those because a program, when it installs itself, may store one copy of this in one location, another program may store it in another location. And since each program is fully expecting to find that DLL in the location it put it, if you were to delete it from one of those 2 locations, one program would break. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
So in that case, I would be very careful with DLLs. In fact, I wouldn't delete duplicate DLLs. The fact that this DLL is here and this DLL is here, both of these are NVIDIA drivers, I wouldn't assume that you can get rid of them.
Right.
All right. But if it's data files, MP3s, or in this case, we have a lot of it. And this makes sense. This computer, when they set it up, they would download the installer, and then they would put a copy in a special folder for me, and so forth. So it makes sense that there be duplicates here. This is a great program. Let me see where we found it. Duplicate File Finder. It's on Funduc Software.
Can you repeat that?
FUNDUC.com. Funduc Software. They do a lot of shareware and freeware, and this one is a freeware program that does exactly what I would say to do. Andy, do you have some thoughts on duplicate file finding?
What happens if you delete both of them?
Both of the same file?
The same file.
Well, then you've deleted them.
No, but actually Windows protects critical files.
Oh, critical files, but not files that were installed by applications.
No.
What will happen is, yes, if it's a Windows system file, that's fine. Yeah. But if it's a DLL that was installed by Norton Antivirus and by some other program, you delete one of them is going to break. So you're right, DLLs are protected, but in this case, these are not necessarily Windows DLLs. I would still be careful about deleting DLLs. Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, Jim. I'm so glad we could have you on the show.
Me too, really.
Now, Vac was saying you look like who? Ken Grambling?
Yeah, have a look. Let's have a look at the webcam caller, Leo.
All right, let's take a look at the webcam caller. And he looks just like our technical director. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. Wait a minute, is it our technical director? No, it's not.
Okay, now have a look at
he didn't move to Florida yet.
I got it on my computer.
Let me see if I can find a picture of Kent.
And Monica's got it on her computer.
What's his URL?
It's right on her.
There he is.
Ooh la la.
You guys look the same.
Separated at birth.
Just don't wear any backwards hats, okay? Hey, thanks, Jim.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate the call.
Bye now.
That's pretty funny. When we come back, there's an old saying, you have to learn how to walk before you run. So Andy Walker will be here to get it. About updating window drivers. You stick around. Don't go away.
Andy Walker's gonna drive.
He's gonna walk. Welcome back to Call for Help. One of the most important things you can do on your operating system is keep it up to date. We talk about Windows Update all the time, and Windows Update will do some of this, but really you can do a lot more to update your Windows driver. Andy Walker is going to show us the ins and outs. If you run Windows Update, it will tell you. Somebody wants some saltines. It will tell you if you have an out-of-date driver and there's a new one, but often it doesn't really know about everything.
No,
what is a driver, first of all?
It's sort of a translator. It helps Windows understand the physical hardware that is on your computer. So it's kind of a translator.
Yeah.
It's sort of instruction set.
An intermediary.
Well,
if you think about it, there's no way when they design Windows they could know about every kind of hardware you might want to hang off of it. So what they do is they write a specification that says, well, if you design new hardware, here's how you'd write a program that we can talk to, that Windows can talk to, that will let us control that hardware.
Right.
So drivers are very important because without good drivers, your system's unreliable. It doesn't perform well, but it also can crash.
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. you know.
So what do we do to find drivers? First of all, how do we know we need a driver?
Well, sometimes if something's not working at all, you know, when you very first install hardware, sometimes it will be auto-detected, sometimes not.
Right.
So let's go into our system panel.
Okay.
And have a look at where the drivers are kept, because it's a really important place to go, especially if there's something not working properly on your computer.
Now, this is in XP. It looks a little bit different in other versions of Windows.
Yeah. This is XP. So we're going to go to the control panel. We're going to go all the way down to System.
That's the same, but then where we store the hardware information.
Yeah, it's a little different on the older machines, but it's still called Device Manager.
Okay.
So let's click on Device Manager, and we're going to see a whole list of all the types of hardware we're going to find on the computer. So if there was a problem with this computer, there would be a little yellow dot with an exclamation mark next to the problem device.
I see.
And
so every device on that list has a driver.
It absolutely does, yes. Yeah. And this is one of the things that I always tell people, you know, hey, there's a right-click button exists for a reason. Let's right-click on one of these because we're going to get a whole list of things to do with
including
that.
Update Driver.
Including Update Driver right there. I actually like to go to Properties because you can see more stuff.
Let's learn about the thing.
So there is a driver tab under that the device properties, and you can go driver details. You can find out what version, what the actual file is, what the actual driver is. Right. You can also click on Update Driver.
But in order for that to work, you'd actually have to have the driver first. So where do we get these drivers?
From the internet, silly.
Oh, dumb of me. Okay.
Or from a disk that you perhaps get, but you know that internet's the best place.
Well, those disks are often out of date.
And often I think they're always out of date.
By the time they ship the disk, it's too late. But let's go to the internet.
I went to the support.dell.com, which is a place for
this is a Dell
computer, and usually it's good to go to your computer manufacturer, you know, because they usually store the latest updated drivers for your particular machine. Now I've downloaded the NVIDIA driver.
That's your video card.
Which is my video card, and it was an exe file, an executable file.
That's nice.
It's nice because it'll install for you. You have to look for INF files, which is actually the driver extension.
In the old days, we used to have to do this by hand, but nowadays almost everybody does an installer. Yeah.
So I actually started I double-clicked on the exe file, and I started the driver install.
Wait a minute, what's that?
So what it says is, this device hasn't passed the Windows logo testing to verify its compatibility with Windows XP. This is a question I asked you a little earlier. I don't know what...
Well, that's kind of panic time, right? Oh, no, let's not install it. You can continue anyway when Microsoft says it's not okay? Well, all it is a certification program. They call it the Windows Hardware Quality Lab, WHQL. Sometimes when you go to download a driver, you'll have a choice between the most recent or the WHQL certified driver. You're not going to, if you, as many of these companies, including NVIDIA, do update your drivers daily, weekly, monthly, you're not going to get each one certified. You're only going to get the major releases certified because it's expensive. So the big releases they'll certify, the in-between ones they won't. You're going to get this message. If it's from a major company like NVIDIA, absolutely go ahead and install it.
It's not a sign of a virus or spyware or anything like that.
Not at all. It just means they didn't bother spending the money and time to take it to Microsoft and say, would you make sure this works with Windows? But chances are very, very good it does. Now, if you had a compatibility issue, then you might want to go back and get the WHQL certified just to make sure that the driver you're using has absolutely been tested with Windows. That's all. Right. But I always use the latest driver. That's almost always better.
So you can say continue anyway, and there's no risk.
No harm, no foul, as they say in Canada.
This is good.
Uh-oh.
It said it's already got a driver, so I'm going to overwrite it in this case.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And yes. There's
quite a few of those.
There's lots of those.
Okay. That may happen when you install a driver because there's a case of DLLs being replaced by an older, not a newer DLL, but one that you really need for that driver. So I would say go ahead and do it.
Wish there was a yes to all, don't you?
There should be. Oh, hold the shift key down.
Oh, the shift key down.
No, maybe it's the control key. One of those keys. The Alt key. One of those keys, maybe the Shift Alt Control key. There really is, believe it or not, and this was a really obscure tip somebody told me once. If you hold, there's a key combination that makes it a yes to all in any dialogue. Can you believe that? I don't know how you find that out. Read the manual? What manual? All right, we're done.
And the other thing is you say, it's going to ask you, yes, I want to restart, or no, I don't want to. You should.
They almost always restart because you've got to reload the new drivers.
Yeah.
Hey, that's great. Update your drivers. The number one thing to do is install the updated video drivers.
Yes.
Because very frequently they'll improve performance as well as reliability.
That's right.
Hey, thank you, Andrew.
My pleasure.
He's WHQL certified. Coming up in just a short while, your favorite and mine, the free file of the day. Have we got some secret stashes for you, Cheech? Stay with us. We'll be back in time to let you in on some insider knowledge. But first, it's time for our quiz question of the day. Let's see how smart you are. Test your tech knowledge. What is an ID3 tag? What is an ID3 tag? Is it an MP3 song info? Is it HTML code? Is it an email signature? Are they web-ready dog tags? Soldier, get on your MP3 tag. Get hot. We'll be right back with the answer. Stay right here. Sorry. Get along. Get all excited. Yes, sir. Welcome back to Call for Help. Leo Laporte here. Let's take another call. Monica, dear.
Yeah.
Do you have a caller for me, darling?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
Gus. We've got Gus from Hamilton.
She's got people in her ears.
I hear voices.
Hey, Gus, how are you?
Hey, Leo, how's it going?
That's going very well. Welcome to the show. What can I do for you?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, good.
Windows XP.
Yes.
Windows Explorer.
Explorer.
Yes.
Not Internet Explorer.
No.
Windows Explorer.
That's right.
Okay.
I want to set it to the root or drive C so that next time you go back there, it comes back to that.
Oh.
XP seems to insist upon putting it to my documents.
Right, it does. That's the default. First of all, how do you launch Explorer by itself?
Just from the icon.
Where's the icon?
On the quick launch bar.
Accessories.
Oh, you have it on the quick launch bar?
Yeah.
Oh, because you use it all the time.
Yep.
So I'm going to show you how to modify it. So what you've done, you're running it out of here. What you've done is you've dragged this Windows Explorer icon down into your quick launch bar to make it a shortcut.
Right.
Now, what we got to do is modify the shortcut so that it'll do what you want, because what you're doing right now is rooted at My Documents. You'd like to root it at C.
Right.
So there's actually, believe it or not, a command line parameter for Windows Explorer. Let's open up this shortcut real quickly. Look at the properties. And you can see this is the command right now. What we're going to do is, simply explorer.exe.
Right.
What we're going to do is we're going to change that command, and we're going to do it with instructions from Microsoft. So here's the easiest way to do this, is to go to support.microsoft.com.
Right.
And we're going to enter in command, Explorer command line parameters. Because they're not well documented, frankly. The command line options for Explorer, and there are some, and the one that you want changes the root. Okay.
Right.
So the /E is open. Let me make this bigger, because that's awfully. I don't think you could probably read that. Let me make it as big as I can so every human alive can read it. There we go. So /E opens Windows Explorer in its default view. /N opens a new single pane. There's quite a bit of. Now this is the one we want though. /root. And then object. So you're going to say /root, C:.
Right.
All right. By doing that, or you could, by the way, you can make it rooted anywhere.
Right.
But by doing that, we're actually telling Explorer, okay, I want you. So what we're going to do is modify this /root, C:. That's going to say, when we run, let's see if it works. When we run, be rooted in the C, and in fact, it is now.
Yeah. Perfect.
All right.
And that's only just for that one icon, right?
Yes, exactly. It's modifying the shortcut. Now, I don't know how to modify. It's probably a registry entry. How to modify this permanently. But I think really, since you're running it from an icon in Quick Launch, this should work anyway. If you're running it out of the accessories menu, no, it won't change that. And we have to figure out. Actually, I wonder if the accessory, might even be that the accessories menu is just a shortcut also. Let's just get the properties on this and see. Wouldn't that be funny? Yeah, it's just a shortcut too. So the truth is, the way Explorer works is it really more often is invoked by people double-clicking a folder or a hard drive or my computer, and it roots to wherever you clicked.
Right.
So that's why it's kind of, it's an unusual question in the sense that I don't think, Gus, that a lot of people double-click the Explorer icon directly. Most of the time, they don't even know there is such a thing as Explorer. They think that's just, look, when you double-click a folder, it opens. What is that? That's not a program. That's just Windows.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's how you would change its behavior. And notice, it's exactly the same in the accessories. It's still a shortcut, so we could change it in accessories as well. Now, changing it permanently, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's relevant unless you're like going Start Run Explorer or something like that.
Yeah. I know in the older versions of Windows, you could just, wherever you saved it as last exit, stay that way.
Yeah, it should just remember, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
No, not in this version. As far as I know, let's see. Okay, we saved it as C. Sometimes pressing the Shift key when you close a window makes it remember. Let's see if that happens. I want to go to Start, Accessories, because that's where I was modifying it. Let's see if that changed it. No. Not a thing. XP's just changed how it works. But simply changing, it actually is not a bad idea. You could make as many aliases, shortcuts as you wanted in the Quick Start for any number of directories.
Right.
So that article is in the Windows knowledge base. It's article 152457 if you want to read the rest of the command line options, because there are actually some other handy ones as well.
It's always good to use the shortcuts,
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Great.
Hey, thank you, Gus.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Very interesting question. It's something that people don't remember, but if you ever used DOS, these command line parameters were frequently used in DOS commands that you would type on the command line. But because we're using Windows, we don't often think of those. But frankly, many programs still have command line parameters. You just never see them because you're double-clicking icons all the time. Thank you for the call, Gus. Let's see now. Andrew has the free file of the day. If we can get him up off his knees, we'll find out what it is. What are you doing down there?
Switching over to my computer.
A little traveling music, please.
Still gonna
what are you doing down there?
I got to switch over to my right computer.
Stand over here. What are you up to? Okay, we're trying to get his computer. There we go. Is that the one you want?
That's the one I want.
Hey, he's the one that I want.
Excuse me, what's that?
That is his computer, Arnold. Andrew Walker is going to show us our free file of the day. You said the Alexa Toolbar.
Alexa Toolbar. You've got it? I've got it. Very good.
We've all got the... What is the Alexa Toolbar? Now, we know about the Google and Yahoo Toolbar because you showed us that in earlier shows. What does the Alexa Toolbar do?
It's one more IE add-in.
Okay.
And Alexa is a company that was bought by Amazon.com. And what this is really useful for is finding information actually out about websites and what the traffic's like. At least that's what I use it for personally.
That you're on currently. Yeah.
You're currently on. So
show us how you use it.
So let's go to...
it has a search function. What does it search, out of curiosity?
Well, anything. You can either type in keywords.
What search engine does it use? Its own?
It uses its... I don't know what it uses today.
Google. It says Google or Amazon, or it has a dictionary. Well, that's kind of nice.
Dictionary.com.
Yeah, all right, that's nice. So we're still using Google in effect.
So let's type in your website, leoville.com. Right. And you get all kinds of really cool information about how many people visit.
No, you're going to know how many people visit my site?
See traffic details right
that's
here.
Cool. Or it will show up in the bar? I rank only 100,505th
of all the websites on the internet.
Oh, well, that's pretty good.
Well, that's pretty good.
I'll take that.
It's probably the top 5% of all sites, and there's millions and millions on the internet.
Look at it even has traffic. So now, there is one limitation in this. This is traffic only from people with the Alexa Toolbar installed, because it's not monitoring all my traffic.
And this is part of the reason why it gets its reputation as spyware.
Right.
Because every time, if you have this installed...
It is spying on you.
It is spying on you. It's telling the Alexa database, what you're searching.
But neutrally. It's not telling him who you are, just aggregate what everybody's doing.
It's reporting about you. So, I mean, I really like it because what happens is when I'm looking at websites to see how popular they are, we get pitched guests to come on and I check out their websites and I say, well, is these guys really well known or not well known?
Oh, that's very good.
So if it's the 4 millionth most popular website on the internet, they probably only have a few thousand visitors, a day. Or...
The more people who use the Alexa Toolbar, the more accurate these will be. I have to tell you, knowing my own statistics, it's about 1/10 of what my actual traffic is. So that means about 1/10 of my visitors are using the Alexa Toolbar. But that's not, that still gives you a good relative average compared to other sites. Right. So, I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, as a webmaster, running sidewalker.com, it can tell me how popular my site is this month or how it was last month or in the last couple of years. I can see the traffic growth.
Mine's shrinking. That's cool. Let's see Cyberwalker real quick, just out of curiosity. Yeah. This is fun. It also has a related to feature that's kind of cool. You can, when you go to a site, it'll give you other suggestions for sites that you might want to take a look at. So I kind of like that too. And how are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
You're beating me. Dude, you're 66,000. Awesome, dude.
There you go.
All right.
And actually, I had a really good year this year.
Is that because you've been recommending the Alexa Toolbar?
Because I was unemployed for a period of time, and I had to spend a lot of time on my hands.
I know how that is. Yeah. Hey, cool. Alexa Toolbar. More information, of course, our website has the link and everything you need, as well as many, many other free files. Call for Help TV. Linux.com. Coming up, have you been hit by the Windows blue screen of death one too many times? Marcel Gagne is here. He says Linux might be your salvation. It never crashes. We'll talk to him after the break. Stay right here. Welcome back to Call for Help. You may have heard the word Linux. Certainly it's getting around these days. It's an operating system like Windows or Macintosh, except it's free. You might have been tempted to install it. But is Linux ready for prime time? There's some debate about that. Linux author Marcel Gagne is here. He's the author of this great new book that just came out called Moving to Linux, Kiss the Blue Screen of Death Goodbye. And you may also have seen his columns Cooking with Linux in the Linux Journal, and I read those religiously because they're really great. Marcel, welcome.
I love you, man.
That's a great column. No, I love it.
You notice I took the show theme and went for black.
We're all black today. I love it. Well, thank you, Marcel, for joining us. Yes. We appreciate it. The real issue with Linux, I mean, a lot of people are loving Linux who are geeks, and it's being run as servers all over the place. It runs, many of the internet sites you go to run on Linux, including my own. But a lot of people say it's not ready for the desktop. It's not ready for the Windows user to migrate to.
Right.
You think so?
I think it's more than ready. I mean, one of the biggest questions, one of the things people like to say is, is it something my grandmother could use?
Exactly.
Like exactly. I mean, that's a classic question. Well, not only can she, but my parents, who happen to be grandparents, 67, 60 years old, they are now.
That's 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's so cool. Actually, they were before, but now it's mine. Anyway, so we're digressing here. Anyway, so my parents actually are running Linux on a desktop. They have been for almost 4 years. They started out running Red Hat 7.3. Now they're running Mandrake 9.2 or something like that. They did their own upgrade on the last release. So I mean, if my parents can sit there and upgrade their PC, and by the way, this was their first computer 3.5 years ago.
Wow, that's
They
amazing.
don't call me for tech support.
Maybe that's an advantage because they weren't kind of in the Windows mold yet or the Macintosh mold. They started fresh with Linux.
I think that helps. I think, I mean, the reason that Windows is easier for people, let's be perfectly honest, is because it's pre-installed on the PCs.
Right.
They don't have to do anything.
Installation is always the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And you're going to have problems installing Windows as you have anything else. Mind you, a Linux install these days, a modern Linux install is, quite frankly, I think, if anything, easier than a Windows install.
Well, the book comes with something called Knoppix we've talked about before, which it's called a live CD. You don't have to install it. You can literally boot to the CD without modifying your hard drive at all, leaving Windows there, and you can play with Linux and get a sense of it. You've got Mandrake installed right here.
I do.
Let's take a look. Let's get a little tour of Linux here.
All right. Well, first of all, if you take a look at the desktop here, can everybody see the desktop?
Take a look.
All right, take a look.
Well, that looks just like me.
That's you. Hey, can we pull back or something like that?
Yeah, let's see the full screen, because it does look a little bit different than Windows, but not a whole lot. You're in a web browser right now.
Yeah. If I go down, just to give you an idea, we've still got if you'll pardon the expression, a start button, where people can go up, and you've got things like multimedia, internet applications, et cetera, et cetera. So
the applications look different.
They look different. They're going to have different names, but I mean, if you're running under Windows, there are different web browsers as well. Despite the fact that everybody mosely uses Internet Explorer, there's Mozilla.
They watch this show, we're moving
That's right.
Firefox.
Yeah.
I see there's Office there. What is that?
Okay, what this is it's a package called OpenOffice, and it's a replacement basically for Microsoft Office. It provides you with a word processing package, a spreadsheet, presentation graphics, if you want to look at it in the Windows world.
All of them Microsoft compatible.
All of them Microsoft compatible.
Wow. And it's free.
And it's free.
That's
and you don't have to worry about licensing costs or anything like that. And
so for an Office, this might be a great solution.
For an Office, it's a wonderful solution. I mean, imagine spending several $1,000s or spending absolutely nothing. You download it and you're running it and life is good.
What are the issues that people come up against when they switch to Linux?
Well, I mean, there is a learning curve. Every time that you try something else, you're going to find that things aren't exactly in the same position that you thought they were. The menu option has a slightly different name, but for the most part, things are pretty much the same. Like if you take a look up here, you click File, New, File, Open, this sort of thing.
This is the menu. These are the menus for OpenOffice.
These are the menus for OpenOffice.
It looks the same.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, this is very similar stuff. If I flip to the next screen over here,
by the way, that's a cool thing about Linux is these virtual desktops.
Yes.
You can have more than one desktop. So you have one desktop with Office Word on it, one desktop with the Office spreadsheet on it.
Well, and you don't have to sit there and minimize things and pop windows back and forth all over the place.
Like
I actually run 8 virtual desktops all the time, and the reason I do that is I've got my word processor in one, I've got my email package in one, I've got a game that I'm playing. Hey, game that I'm playing. Let me see.
Let's talk about one thing which I think Windows users lately have been very concerned about, which is security and reliability. How does Linux compare to Windows in terms of security?
Well, in terms of security, it is infinitely more secure. I mean, I'm going to go right out on the edge here and say that. Which isn't to say that it's guaranteed to be 100% perfect, but it is built with security in mind to begin with. I mean, it's a much better design right off the bat. There are virtually no viruses. You're not going to get hit with anything.
You don't have
in
to
fact, I don't run a virus checker.
You
don't run an antivirus checker at all.
No spyware either?
No spyware. My parents occasionally call me up and say, you know, one of their brothers or sisters got hit with a virus or something like that. Is it something I have to worry about? And I've been telling them for 3.5 years they don't have to worry about any of these things, but they still call me and say, should I be worried?
There will be Linux viruses, but it just won't be as easy to write, and it's less likely to spread as fast. It's just not as easy to do.
It's very difficult. I mean, there have been actually cash offers on the table for anybody who can write a Linux virus that can spread through email. So far, nobody's collected on it.
That's great.
And anything that exists out there has been done in proof of concept labs and stuff like that.
Not in the real world.
Yeah, not in the real world.
What about reliability?
Damn stable. I mean,
it never crashes.
You run a web server on Linux. Exactly.
My uptime on my web server is years, not days, not months, not minutes, years.
Well, mine isn't years because Toronto had a power failure last year where everything went black.
Fault.
No, it wasn't Linux's fault. So everything went down at that time, including my notebooks. I ran out of power. It was really sad, actually.
The good thing about this book is you do kind of take a look at the Windows applications and then their equals on the Linux side. So if somebody's making that transition, this is a good book to take a look at. Moving to Linux, Kiss the Blue Screen of Death Goodbye. It's really designed for Windows users who are making that move.
And the Knoppix disk, I have to say it again, the cool thing about the Knoppix disk is Linux for the nervous.
You don't have to install
boot it up. Yeah, you don't have to install it.
Try it before you make any changes to your hard drive. If you don't like it, you reboot, you take the disk out, and you're done.
That's right. You don't notice anything's ever happened.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
great. And it's fun. It's actually more fun than Windows, honest to God.
It is fun, although it may turn you a little geeky. MarcelGagne.com is the website. Who, me? He is the, of course, author of the Linux Journal's Cooking with Linux, which is a great column. And now, this book, Moving to Linux. For more Linux 101, check out MarcelGagne.com in our show notes. Click on callforhelptv.com. Thanks, Marcel.
Cool. Thanks
Great
for
to
having me.
see you again.
Great to see you again, too.
Thanks for... Wait a minute, I was going to say thanks for coming up here, but I'm the one who came up here.
Yeah, you're the one who came up
here.
Actually, you're making it easy on me, so I was kind of happy about that. You know.
My pleasure, my pleasure. When we come back, we're going to talk about file download standards. Please stay with us. That was fun.
Yeah, he's a great guest.
He's great. We're going to get him back. That's one of the differences between doing the show here and doing it in the States. When I came up here to do the show, the boss said, "And you're going to do lots of Linux, right?" I said, "Yeah, sure."
I ran up to him.
I used to have to fight to get Linux. What did you say?
I ran up to him as he was going out the studio. I was like, "Hey, we'll get back."
We'll have Marcel back. I think we're going to make him our regular Linux guru. So, and you know, we're not going to go too far over your head, but just to give you more of an idea of what this free operating system is all about, because it's really amazing what it can do. But right now, the phone is ringing. Time for more of your calls. Monica, who's on the line?
We've got Tony from Panama City, Florida.
Oh, man, it's Florida Day on Call for Help. Hello, Tony.
Hi, Leo. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are things in Panama City?
Great. We're hot, a little bit hot down here, but the weather's dried up some.
Yeah, what's hot?
About 92.
92. How many is that in real degrees? It's like 30?
Subtract 30 divided by ½ It's 30 degrees.
30 degrees.
Ish.
That's hot. That's hot.
That's right.
Oh, yeah,
Canada.
That's hot. So what can we do for you today, Tone?
Yes. I used to run a BBS back in, the early part of the century.
Yes. No, sorry, Tony. Later part of the last century, I think.
And we used to use a lot of protocols for downloading, such as Z modem, X modem, Y modem, and such.
My gosh.
And I was wondering why the Z modem protocol wasn't used for the for internet standards.
That's a good question. By the way, I'll translate for our Canadian viewers. He's talking about Z modem.
Yeah.
Z modem. Remember that, Andy? X modem, which wasn't very efficient. That was the first. The reason is on dial-up, when you were going through a phone line point to point, you needed to have a lot of error correction.
Right.
And so X modem, what it would do is it would send it, and it would ask for a checksum back, saying, did that package come through okay? What did it look like to you? And if it was incorrect, it would resend it. Z modem got a little bit fancier, a little bit more sophisticated, and a little bit more, as you remember, Tony, if you ran a BBS, a little bit more reliable. Y modem was kind of never a really, it was kind of an in-between that kind of got used, but not a lot. And there was also Kermit, remember?
Yes, I remember Kermit.
Yeah, a lot of different protocols for making reliable transfers. Well, what's happened is now we all use TCP/IP, the Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. That's the kind of underlying protocol for transmission on the Internet. It has its own error correction built in. It's not so very different. It's still in TCP/IP. You're sending packets of data, chunks of data, and each chunk of data has information in its header about it. And when it is received by the receiving end, it can validate that that packet is arriving intact. Right. If not, it will say, I didn't get that, resend. So in effect, it's very similar to Z modem or X modem, in concept anyway. But you don't talk about X, Y, or Z modem because it's built into TCP/IP. So that's what's happened. It's been replaced by TCP/IP.
Okay, well, we had a bunch of old sysops down here, and we were just wondering about that. And
me too. I raised my hand. I ran a FidoNet BBS in the latter part of the last century. It was called MacQ. I ran it from, I think, 84 to 87. It was a Macintosh-oriented BBS, running, of course, on a PC, with a big 20-megabyte Seagate hard drive.
Yeah, I remember those.
the early MFM hard drives. Well, this is memory lane. What kind of BBS did you run, Tony?
It was a simple BBS. It was on Renegade, Renegade system.
Yeah. You know what's funny is BBSing, there's a lot of nostalgia for BBSing among 20-somethings who grew up and when they were teenagers used BBSs. And sysops, like old sysops, system operators like you and me, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
People, we got a little respect now, you know, because they're coming back. They're starting to do BBS-like things. There's even backdoor programs that we had. BBS would sometimes have a backdoor program allow you to play a game. You're starting to see those. There's BBS-like environments starting to spring up. It's really interesting. The web, for a while, really put BBSs out of business. But I think if you go to, you know, a website like mine, Leoville, it's really become a clubhouse, much like my old MacQ BBS, because I've got message boards, I've got download areas. You know, it's not so very different.
Oh, yeah. Leoville's my homepage anyway. So.
Oh, that's nice of you. Well, thank you, Tony. It really does feel like a BBS in some ways, doesn't it, you know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it hasn't changed all that much, except now we can use the Internet for it. The message boards really are the closest thing. I mean, that's really what was BBSing was all of
was the heart of it. It was a community.
It's the community. It's getting in there and talking to people and meeting people who are of a like mind. In fact, if you go to Leoville Town Square, which is the message board, you'll see there's a call for help thread there. People saying hi, talking about being on the show, and Andrew and Monica are in there as well. Hey, thank you for the call, Tony. It's fun to go back down memory lane.
Thank you, Leo. Look forward to your next book.
Thank you. It's coming. It's working. We're working it right now. Oy, oy, oy.
Tell Megan I said hey.
I will. Thank
care.
you very much. Megan, of course, co-author of my last book and my former co-host. We couldn't bring her up here. She has a little baby. She doesn't want to leave her little baby. Annabella's a year and some months now. She's great. Hey, you ever sit around at home, not sure what to do? What do I feel like doing? Monica might have the solution. Stay tuned. But first, it's time to take our daily quiz. One last chance to find out what an ID3 tag is. Is it MP3 song info, HTML code, email signature, or web-ready dog tags? Get to the website, give us your answer. We'll talk about it when Call for Help continues.
Get ready for the big surprise.
Before the break, we asked you what an ID3 tag is. That's the tags in an MP3, the song information, not the file name, but the information that's stored in the file itself about the song name, the album title, maybe the date or year of the album, how it was encoded, things like that. It's the tags in an MP3. I hope you got that right. In fact, we'll show you a little bit later. I think maybe in the month we're going to show you some MP3 tag editors. Oh, I'm so bored. What should I do?
I need a vacation.
I'm bored. Monica's making me say that. I'm not really bored. I'm having fun. But let's say I were bored. What would I do?
Well, you go to bored.com.
That's what I do.
Simple.
That's funny because I went to stupid.com the other day.
Did that help?
Yeah.
You were feeling... Anyway, bored.com is just it's a group of like links to
My kids love
fun
this site.
websites.
Yeah.
Or in your lunch hour when you're at work and you don't feel like going outside.
Some of them are a little
yeah.
adult. Okay.
But
I
neat
watch
things.
over my kids when they're using this site.
Yeah. They've got games, humor, stuff like that. So you got
It's nothing too
game
adult.
sites.
It's just
Yeah, you got that virtual bubble.
I love
Everyone loves that.
Love that. Snip, snap. You can never get enough bubble wrap in your life.
Oh, I know. There's also those radio lovers, which is neat. Some old radio shows.
Oh, what fun.
Are you in here?
Yes. Back in 1937, I did a show.
So that's pretty much it. It's just, browse the site, and there's lots of links to fun sites here.
If you're bored, bored.com is the place to go.
Da-da-da-da.
And Monkey will have more of her great tips.
Man, that's going to stick.
Monkey, you think?
I like it.
No.
Yeah.
We only say it because we love you. So, if you want... what are we going to call that guy?
Well, I'll come up with something.
For him. A variety of activities for the idle mind, and while you're being bored, don't forget to visit our website, callforhelptv.com, for links to all of our great sites and free files. It's a great place to go. It's getting better every day.
Yeah.
Callforhelptv.com.
We've got a caller. We've
Yes.
got Chris from Monrovia, California.
Let me do my little walk then and say hello to Chris in Monrovia, California. Hey, Basil, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, you come. Hey, Chris, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yay, Chris!
We catch you down here on Saturdays and Sundays, and it's a real pleasure to talk to you.
That's right. I'm on the radio at KFI in Los Angeles. But you can hear that on the internet, even if you're up here on the website, KFI640.com. Thanks for letting me give the plug.
Yeah. Hey, listen, the other day I turned on my laptop computer, and the battery was dead.
Wait a minute. I got to say something first.
Yeah.
Doesn't he sound like Bosley from Charlie's Angels? just say, do me a favor, Chris. Just say, hi, Angels.
Hi, Angels.
He's Bosley! Okay, sorry, Chris. Are you Bosley?
Okay. I got a great sense of humor.
Oh, good. All right. Well, so your laptop died? What happened?
Hey, hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Hello, I'm here.
Our speakerphone died. Can you hear me, Chris?
Am I still with you?
Yeah, but I can't hear you. Let me shout. So, did your laptop die? What happened?
What happened was the battery was dead. I turned it on the next morning, and it was dead. So what I did was I charged it up again, and then waited a day, and it went down to 7% battery power.
Right away.
So, after one night. And so I charged it up again, and then I used it. And it went down, took about an hour and a half. Okay. And then I charged it up again, and it seems to be all right. But my question is this a sign that the battery is dying?
Yeah, it might be. How old is that laptop?
It's a Toshiba Tecra 9000. It's about 2 years old, but I have a spare battery, so I switch back and forth.
Yeah, lithium-ion batteries, which that is, 2 years is about right. The way they rate lithium-ion batteries is not by time, but how many charges you've had. So, the age of the battery is irrelevant. Since you have two batteries, it's probably really, in effect, half that old. It might be and it might not be. If the behavior doesn't come back, it's not. But it's good you have a second battery because it is kind of getting to the age where you're going to start seeing it. And when a laptop battery dies, usually it just stops. It just stops working. And sometimes, and I should warn you this, you might have this happen, sometimes you cannot start the laptop, even if it's plugged in, if it's got a dead battery in it. So if at some point your Tecra won't start up, take out the battery and try to start it, because there's something about the circuitry in a lot of laptops. If the battery is not chargeable and is dead, even if it's plugged in, I think it's because it cycles the power through the battery. You won't be able to use it. So, if it's all right now, I'd keep using it. It's nothing bad's going to happen. But you probably should be prepared for it to die. It's probably getting on its last legs.
They're affordable.
Yeah.
Huh? How much are they?
They're $100 US.
$100 US, according to Andy. He just looked up the new Tecra replacements, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, it's great.
Thank you very much, Uncle Leo. We'll see you later.
It's great to talk to you, Bosley. See you later.
Bye.
Doesn't he?
It's great.
Doesn't he? Am I wrong? When we come back, we'll tell you how you can call and be on the show, and we'll make fun of you, too. Stay right here. Don't go away.
We need more monkeys.
Welcome back to Call for Help. Want to remind you, we love having your calls. That's what this show is all about. That's why it's called Call for Help. We love answering questions. If you want to be on the show, that's the website right there, callforhelptv.com. There's a form that you fill out there that says, ask your questions. Make sure you fill it out. We would love to get you on the show. And it's so much fun because we meet so many people from all over. What are you guys doing? Oh, you got your soda crackers.
Yeah, we're gonna try.
Nice.
All right. This has nothing to do with technology, but how often? I mean, what show would let you do this on television?
Come on.
Except Fear Factor, maybe.
Geek snacks.
So what's the deal, Mikey? You said that there's the world record for eating saltine soda crackers.
Yeah, it's 8 crackers.
8 crackers in 1 minute.
Without any water.
That's the key. No water. Doesn't matter how you eat them. You can jam them all in your mouth.
As long as they're out of your mouth in 1 minute, you
so
break the world record.
Monica and Andy each have 9. And are you going to be the timekeeper, Andy, or
you're
Mikey?
going to do it, right?
I'll do it. No, I can't do it. I have to host a show.
Oh,
Somebody's got to talk while you guys are looking like jerks.
Oh,
all right.
No close-ups.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Where's the second hand? In 3. Are you ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Oh, no, that doesn't count if you drop them all. You got to get all the crumbs. Monica's eating nice and tidy. Yeah, it's like, this is good. You should do this at the fair. Now, I don't think this is going to count, Andy. Wait a minute. Give him 2 more for crumbs. 2 more for crumbs. You have to swallow them. This is pretty good. 20 seconds have gone by. Monica's being very ladylike. I'll tell you, this is something that really is going to endear us to all the geeks. I find it hard to believe. Can you swallow, Andy? So, Andy, you look like you got a good start, but you got 20 seconds. Go ahead. We got to do a segment on saltine crackers and laptop computers. Do the two go together? 10 seconds. Monica, don't laugh. That's slowing you down. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, well, I think we've pretty much proven you can't do it. Time's up. You couldn't swallow? Wait, is that the problem? They're too dry. All right. Well, we've proven it. I don't know what that goes to show.
Mikey, you've tried this. Couldn't do it?
Our whole family tried it.
No one has ever in the world, in the history of the world, it's awful.
That is awful.
It's like eating chalk, isn't it?
It is. I'll never get that taste out of my mouth ever again.
Leo.
Yes, Jack.
That was pathetic.
It's the worst television I've ever seen. And I'm unproud of it. Back, you get in here. You try it. If you want to join us on the show, go to callforhelptv.com. That's where you'll find information also about all the articles and segments you've seen on the show today. For Monica Latanwa and Andy Walker, who's going to clean this mess up? I'm Leo Laporte. Remember, if you've got a problem, that's not how you clean it up. Get on your knees and sweep. Sweep, private. I'm Leo Laporte. Remember, if you've got a problem with your personal confuser, don't whine, don't moan, don't yell, don't eat soda crackers. That's a very bad idea. Just call for help. Have a great night. We'll come back here tomorrow. We promise no soda crackers. Take care, folks.